Okay, we're good.
Okay. Well, let me put this on full screen view. Okay. So we're going to do 10 minutes of interacting and adding to your network. I frequently will break this up and do 10 minutes of adding and 5 minutes of interacting, but I'm going to briefly, so we're going to focus on the adding part of it because you can interact anytime. There are two key things with interacting. Only the love button. The like button does not exist to you anymore. Only do the love button. There's no reason to do any other ones. Or okay, wow. You could do the wow one too. But we don't like any of the other ones, right? Okay. Anyway, and then comment with 60 characters or more. So I know that seems like a lot. Honestly, what I do, all I'm saying is you're done. We're done with the beautiful or cute or love or whatever. You need to make something a little bit more substantial with that so it's a little bit more meaningful. Whatever you think when you see the person's post, type that. Don't overthink it. You are not trying to like make, hours of interaction here. But I'm going to put that, Trista put a post in Overcomers. That's where you're going to see scripts and things like that we're talking about tonight. I will add my 2 rules of interacting in there, just not they're huge and hard to remember, but I'm still going to put them in there. But we're going to go straight to adding. I'm going to focus on adding to Facebook only. If we have time, I can do Instagram, but I don't think we're going to have time. Okay, so first off, you're going to go to your Facebook friends list. I don't care who it is, just pick somebody that is not a distributor. Side note, if you're seeing a lot of people that are distributors, you're going to want to clean that up. But for now, we're going to focus on pick somebody on your friends list that is not a distributor. We're going to move a little bit fast. So I'm going to, you guys, I can't see everybody, but raise a hand if I'm going too fast. Okay, go to their friend list. So when you're in there, you're going to go to your personal profile page, choose somebody, it doesn't matter who it is, and then click on their friends list. It'll say see all friends. Sorry, you guys can't see that well, but see all friends. I'm on my phone, so I might look different on your browser window. And then I'm going to look for anybody in their friends list that has 4 or more mutuals. So this person has 8 mutual friends, okay? I'm going to click on her, and she's an executive consultant with Rodan & Fields. I'm not interested in that girl because I want people that want to join my business and that aren't doing a business already. When I'm going into these people, don't overthink it. Don't make it take 5 minutes per person. You want to click on somebody. I'm going to choose somebody else, 5 mutual friends. When I look at her thing, sorry guys, so backwards for me to show you guys. So when I look at her thing, I know it's so hard to see, but there's nothing here that says she's doing a business. I'm going to do a quick scroll, like a couple slides. If I don't see anything that they're doing another business, it's not full of profanity, cool, add friend. There's a couple of reasons I'm doing this. One is to get customers, somebody new exposed to our product, and also because I'm looking for somebody that wants to do my business. That's why I mentioned the profanity. I personally love profanity, but you're not going to see it blasted all over my page. And I also want to be careful with somebody, I wanted somebody I'm going to vibe with, okay? You do you and choose what your parameters are going to be. I just wouldn't recommend friending people that are already doing another business. So I'm going to go ahead. This is what we're going to do. I'm not going to over talk this for you guys. So if you see less than 4, you're not seeing a whole lot of that, go out of there. Choose another one of your friends that's not doing a business. They're not a distributor already. Go in there and start and scroll through there and see if you can find other people. Now's your time. If you have questions about what I just said, unmute yourself and go ahead and I'll answer it live. And somebody's probably already thinking it, so don't feel like you're the only one.
All right, guys, I've got the timer set. I started 10 minutes when Melanie started talking, so we're going to do this for 10 minutes. With adding to your network, the most important thing is pick your number that you can do every single day. I think people come in and they think I have to add 500 people super fast. No, just 10 to 15 a day adds up to 300 to 450 a month. So pick a number that you can do every single day. If you spend 10 minutes doing this, you will add plenty of people. So the timer is going. When it stops, we'll move to our next thing.
Do a lot of people add family members, and do you encourage that or discourage that?
I would, yeah, sure. Add all the people. I am not going to discriminate or take away the opportunity of the business or the product from anybody, whether that's family or not. The reason I say 4 or more mutuals is because if you don't, you get into what I got into in my first week in the business. And that was one of my friends saying, "You're friend requesting all my friends. We're the only mutual," and blah, blah, blah. I'm blowing up my business. Okay. If you don't care about that, then go do you. And if you don't care about that kind of ratchet noise in your background, you don't even have to stay with the 4 or more mutuals. I'm just trying to avoid future conflict. They can't figure out who sent them a friend request. That's the only reason for that. The rest of it, it's open season for me.
I feel like coworkers are not the best, but
It's totally up to your environment. You know, the key here is when the people I'm friend requesting, I don't know who they are. I have no clue who they are. So don't just be sending friend requests because you know that person or you think you might know them or you kind of remember them from. These are complete strangers, and I've been doing that from day one, sending friend requests to complete strangers. So whatever's in your comfort zone is fine, but know that even if you're friend requesting your friends and coworkers, whatever, you're going to quickly get out of that. So you might as well move on to that anyway.
Are you adding as many guys as you are girls, or are you concentrating on women?
Yeah.
That's a great question. For a long time, I concentrated on women, and I'm talking like 2.5 years, 2 years at least, concentrating on women only. But I have so many more male customers now. So I'm more heavily women, and that's because I'm more DT focused. And I end up getting males in my friends because they will send me a friend request, and if they don't look creepy, I will accept it. And when through host to post, I will also get men commenting and things, and they get in the mix that way. But probably for the most part, I feel like I'm going to connect better with women distributor-wise, and so I'm probably looking at that for that reason. However, side note, if you have a guy on your friend list, they're not going to get ratchet about the 3 or the 4 more friend list. So go ahead and take those girls. Like those guys that you're sending friend requests to, their friends list are great gold mines usually for a bunch of women.
Okay.
So depending on the guy.
Also, just a side note to add on that, maybe pick some person like Melanie said and add 10 of their friends and then go to someone different and do 10 of theirs. Because just since she said to do this, until about 30 seconds ago, I already got blocked. And I probably had only clicked 20 add friend, add friend, add friend, add friend. So not like Warren up that says you've been temporarily blocked from this. I just don't want you guys to get blocked. So be a little bit strategic in how you're doing it.
So Jamie, could you unmute yourself? Because I'm curious how you guys are adding. If you're doing this, add, are you doing that? Or are you clicking on one and then scrolling their profile a couple times, clicking an add friend, and then going back? Because I found that the add this feature does block me. But if I click one and then go in and kind of look and see, and I'm talking like 15 seconds, and then go back out, that does not block me on any individual profile because I seldom bounce around. I find somebody for the day and I just do their thing. So
I still get blocked around 20.
Doing a quick ad. Yeah. Okay. I guess that's another thing. And the reason they're blocking you is because, if you're doing if you're tap, 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 they can tell like that's so, but you don't want to do that anyway. That's when I end up with some Monate girl and some Rodan and Fields girl and some spammy account from Russia. And that's when I end up with that kind of junk and I get tired of cleaning that stuff out. So I think it's worth me 10 to 15 seconds to go check their profile out.
So when you say to not accept other girls in business, is that like everything, people selling nail stuff, people selling mascara and makeup?
So Amanda's on my team, guys. So I have a specific way of coaching and everybody has a different theory about this. So I'll probably just talk to you directly. It's everyone has a different thing on whether when you're getting the friend request. I don't know why. I don't think anyone would advise sending them out to people that are already doing a business, but it's when you get one and they're doing another business. I would advise you to talk to your upline, your diamond and above upline. Talk to them and see what they advise, because everybody's got a different theory about that.
Melanie, I think you're okay to coach it, because what their upline may do not work for them. But I would say you find what.
Go ahead and say what I do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So, and I only say this because Jessica Harsha one time, who I love, one time was talking about how she goes ahead and accepts those friend requests because she loves how she does her business. She knows she does it right. And it's only a matter of time before they come in and join with her. And I love that. I don't happen to feel, I know me personally, and I don't want to see other people's businesses. I love them, support them, go do them, but I don't want to see them. And I feel like, they're not going to want to see mine either. So I'm doing us both a favor. So when someone sends me a friend request, it's from doing another business. Generally, I will not accept their friend request. I don't block them unless they feel funky. If they've got 20,000 followers and blah, 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 I might block. It just depends on the vibe I get. And I wonder if they're going to go, because my page is public, my posts are public, and they can go to my friends and, do the same thing that we're doing, right? Friend request all my people. That's totally a personal decision on what you're feeling on the page. If this is your general everyday mom and they're doing like nail street, color street or something, good. I'm so excited for them that they're like doing their thing and getting out there. I probably will not block them, but I probably won't accept their friend request because they're doing what I'm doing. They're trying to expand their network to people that are interested in what they've got. And I ain't interested in nails. I'm not interested in the hair thing. I got it all covered, and I don't need to see their stuff. So, and chances are good that I would accept their friend request, and they probably don't want to see mine either because they want people that are looking to do a business and whatever. So I normally say that it's how you're feeling about their page and what you are planning to see in content-wise. But what I think happens with my team, Trista, you can cut me off when my 10 minutes is up. But what I find happens is when you start accepting those people, so then when you start sending messages, you end up sending, and I'm sending a ton of DT messages, and I coach my team to do that as well. Then you're starting to send messages to people who are already doing a business, and you're like, I'm full of Beachbody, Rodan and Fields, all this stuff, right? So I just don't want those people.
That's where I have the issue with it, because then your network gets so bogged down with people already doing businesses that you're just cutting open. You only have so many spaces on your Facebook friends list. And so me personally, I tend to kind of scooch that way as well, just because I want people that are interested in doing a business that maybe aren't already. Hang on, I'm going to view everybody really quick. Okay. Next up, we are going to go to Jessica Defabal. She is going to talk about posting. So obviously, adding to network, posting is like the given of the business, right? We all should be posting about our business. So Jess, we got 10 minutes to make a post and talk about posting. You're unmuted. You should be good now.
Okay, so the posting part, at first I want everyone to take a picture of this that you're on here. So you're going to, just hold your camera somehow. Everyone's going to smile. You can put it in the gallery view or something. I'm going to count to 3 and then we're going to click. So get ready to do that. All right, let me get to my camera here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, click. All right, so we're all smiling. Okay, now if you go to later, when you get off here and you go to our Overcomers page, I posted in there what I would say with this picture. So I strongly recommend that you change the wording to fit your life, and make it work for you. And so there's just some ideas in there. I always try to link my post back to the business somehow. So at the end, I try to say, text me, and then I put my phone number on there. And so I get a lot of text messages about the business. So at the end, you want them to come back to you somehow. And then as far as just posting every day, I do about 1 post a day. That's working for me right now. So I'm getting a lot of attention on my post, a lot of comments, just once a day, not really a set time. And Brittany did an excellent training on branding. So I follow that. I recommend going and looking at that Zoom, and making a list of what's important to you, and so you stick to those posts. So you feel like you're saying the same thing again and again. Like every Monday, I talk about how I get to be home on Mondays now. I don't have to clean for extra money anymore. So you feel like you're saying the same thing again, but if you're growing your network all the time, the people that are seeing it are changing all the time. And then someone that's been watching you for a while, they need to see the same thing like 10 times before they're even interested. So you're saying the same thing, you're just changing the wording a little bit as you go. Okay, and then as far as pictures on the post, set your camera up, set the timer. You feel silly doing the selfie over and over again in different ways, but you'll eventually get the hang of how to stand with your neck out and all that weird performance that's involved in the pictures.
Christy Reedy can do a video for us on how to pose for selfies.
Yeah, with the neck and all that, yeah. So anyway, set your picture up, practice taking better, good pictures. Use if you have a filter app, use that. Try to stick to consistency and the filter that you're using. Think about your own scrolling. What are you stopping at to look at? That's what other people are stopping to look at too. And then I always try to relate to my real life somehow. That's what people are connecting to. And usually, the posts that when I type it and I think, oh, I don't know if I should really put that out there or not, those are the ones that get the most attention because people, are connecting to my real life. I kind of made some notes, but, I think just, don't be afraid to say the same thing again. And then the other thing is, don't put "I work for It Works" on your post. Leave some mystery in your posting, so that they, they're intrigued. They want to know more about what you're doing. And then, so for the rest of the 10 minutes, you can take the picture we just did, put a filter on it, go to the Overcomers and read that, which I could put it in the chat here too. I don't know if that happened or if I could do that, but.
Yeah, you can stick it in the chat. That'd be great.
Okay, so I can do that. So yeah, do that. And then, work on your post for tomorrow. I also, in my notes feature, if I have an idea, because I'm not filling up my page with posts anymore, 3 or 4 times a day. I'm just doing 1 or 2 a day. So if I have an idea, I'll go in my notes and go ahead and type it in there. So that way I'm ready the next day. All right, any questions?
No, but I did want to add just a little bit because I've gotten a little bit of feedback about this. I want you guys to hear us loud and clear, like Jessica said. When we ask you or when we recommend putting filters, please know we're not saying you're not perfect just the way you are. We're not saying that you have to come across as flawless. That's you're missing the whole memo. What it is we're in network marketing. And when you look at commercials on TV, do they put out crappy commercials? No, because crappy commercials don't get attention. They try to make their commercial look different than the next commercial and the commercial before them. So that's when we say put a filter, we're not saying hide behind all of your flaws. Absolutely not. We're saying make it, just like Jessica said, make it so that it makes them want to stop because your picture doesn't look like as they're scrolling, because you got 5 seconds to get their attention. So I just kind of wanted to touch base on that.
I do have a question. You said post 1 time a day. Are you saying 1 post per product, just 1 post about the business in general? Can you clarify what you meant by 1 time a day, Jessica?
So I'm just posting 1 time a day in general. Now I know Trish is going to talk about stories, so I blow stories up all day long. But in my and that has changed. When I first started doing this, I could post 3 or 4 times a day and I was getting attraction. But it just in the last few months, I've noticed that if I just post 1 to 2 times a day, I'm getting a lot more likes, a lot more comments. And so I'm leaving some mystery in that post. I'm not just, holding my coffee and talking about that. I'm, leaving some mystery, getting them interested, and they're going to my stories and seeing more on there. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. I just was wondering about if there's been a change in the algorithms of Facebook, because I know I've been in business 7 months. So in the beginning, it was kind of like, well, don't post more than once an hour. But I don't know if things have changed where it's like people are saying, well, maybe it's like every few hours, or maybe we should be doing like, I don't know if I've missed the memo somewhere, if it's less posting, or I just want to make sure I'm not like over posting, because I usually do no more than 2 or 3 times an hour now, but it used to be at least an hour. And sometimes, you know what I mean? Like I just didn't know if there was some new information about the algorithms.
Well, I mean, I wish I knew all the secrets to the algorithms, but
Yeah,
I don't.
I mean, I really think you just have to find what is working for you at the current time. Because sometimes I can post 3 posts a day, and a lot of it I feel like depends maybe on content. If you haven't been adding to your network a ton and the same people are seeing the exact same posts, like that's probably some of it. But when you get really good about adding to your network and you're doing it consistently and your posts are good and you're switching it up, then you're probably fine and you're doing some interactive posts. But when we're, it's a busy time of year, we don't have a lot of time to be doing all of the things all of the time. So I personally have found what Jess has found right now. I'm posting 1 to 2 a day, but I am in my story pretty consistently, kind of all day long, and showing like everything in my story too. So if you're not using story, then I think you got to be on your Facebook feed. But if you are using story and you're doing it well and you have lots of views on your story, you can possibly back off on the actual page. You still got to be present on the page, because I feel like it just all works together so well. When somebody is in your story and they're watching it, and maybe you put up an opportunity story and then there's a poll at the end, they might actually like go to your page and be like, well, what is she even talking about? So you still have to have it on your page and share your story on your page too. But you just really have to play around with it and see what's working for you right now, because what's working for Jess may not work for you, and it may not work for me or Melanie or Brittany. It's all different. We have different audiences working or looking at our page and interacting. So just see what works for you. We got questions over here. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so Christy Reedy still does 3 posts a day, 1 product, 1 opportunity, 1 regular, and that works. So I think like you just have to find what works for you. Usually I try to do at least 1 opportunity, sometimes a product, and then 1 that has nothing to do with it works. Yeah, also don't just post to post. Like don't just throw up a post if you don't have anything that's going to evoke some feeling or some thought, or you don't have a reason to be posting. It's not going to get a lot of interaction. It's not going to let people know who you are. Then just don't post that. Filters. So really, I'm still a Pick Tap Go girl. I'm like, that's like from like 2015 when we all started. I still prefer it. I have not found a preset that I like. Presets are kind of popular right now, so you can actually go to Etsy or Pinterest and find presets that you like, and then use Lightroom CC. It's a little bit, hi sweetheart, it's a little bit more, it's a little labor intensive, but Pick Tap Go is still fine. You just want to have like a uniform look to your page, and you want them to be kind of eye-catching and to get people to stop. Let's see. Lightroom, presets, Pick Tap Go. Yep. Okay. Okay, let's see how much time we have left on that. 20 seconds. So we'll just go into, I'm going to talk about stories, because stories are really like where it's at on social media right now. If you're not utilizing stories, you should be, because it is literally the best way to be growing your business right now. So most of the time people are actually in story more than they are on your regular Facebook feed right now. And so they will like be on your story clicking through. You want to try and have something that's going to catch their attention on story to get them to like look at your page. But so when I'm doing story, you really just kind of share your life. This is where you really get to tell people who you are, what you're about, what your life is like. So I try to do a product an opportunity story every single day. And then all day long, I'm just kind of sharing what we're doing. People love to see what you're eating and where you're going shopping and all of the things, like those 5 pillars that we talk about on your page. That's what you want to be sharing in your story as well. So we have tons of resources available to you. So if you're in the 90-day push page, every single day we're posting stories in there. There's the story to explode your business. You can take stories from any of the leaders, but I always, if I'm doing a product story, I am trying to show myself, make the product, use the product, then some before and afters. Like that's always been like what I do, and I try to switch it up. So tonight I'm drinking my collagen. I made it before I came in here, so I'm going to post me making my collagen, me drinking my collagen while I'm on the Zoom, and then I'm going to post the before and afters after that. Polls are huge on stories. This is where it's kind of a non-invasive way for people to interact and let you know that they're a little bit interested, but don't be surprised when they ignore your message. Like that is normal. Know that that's normal. I still, like, most of the time they're like, oh, I didn't mean to, or they just ignore me, and that's fine. That's absolutely, because I know they're watching my story. The other thing I love about story is you can see who actually has viewed your story, so you know who's consistently watching you and who you maybe should be reaching out to about the business or about the products. Because if they are consistently watching your story, that's probably a good sign that they are interested and they're actually spending the most time on your story. So we have 10 minutes. So I want you to add something to your story. I love Boomerang. Boomerang is huge in story. If you're in Instagram in the story, I always start in Instagram and just copy it over to my Facebook story. I just have it post to both because I think it's like just, what do you use to create stories? So I use Over most. That's the app I use the most. Brittany did a training on the free version of Over a few weeks ago that was super amazing. It's super wonderful. Unfold is another app that you can use that's super simple. Unfold is easier. Over has just more options to use. So it's up to you what you want to use. But I love Over. If you have a chance to watch the training Brittany did, it's well worth the time because she does just go through the free version. So it's anybody can use it.
I have a question, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Is there a way that you can do a poll in your stories to where, like, it ain't a clicking button to where they can, like, ask the question?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're in Instagram, and you go to story, I'm just going to pull it up and I'm going to say, if I'm going to post a picture of this Zoom, and I could say, you go up to, like, you're going to add a GIF, or like you're going to add like you would to add a regular poll. You can just click on questions and it actually says, just like, ask me a question. And you can type in, like, if you could ask me anything, what would you want to ask me? Or you can ask them a question, whatever you want to do. Get creative with it. The little slidey, like, poll option, that's a good one too. And you can switch them up, but anything that you can, like, have people interacting with your story. And people a lot of times will interact more with something not related to the business. So make sure you're adding, like, chili with noodles or no noodles. Like, make a pot of chili and ask that. Like, the more you can get people interacting in your stories, the better, because then you're going to show up more in their regular feed. Plus your stories are going to be one of the first that pops up for them to watch if they are interacting with your story. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was just wondering, because I have a lot of people, most of the time, they're always like, oh, I didn't even mean to click that. I accidentally clicked it when I was scrolling through. So I was trying to figure out a way to do that. Okay, thank you.
Yep. And you'll have that. Like, it is what it is. People, and it is probably true, because as they're clicking, they probably just clicked it. I click on stuff all the time and I'm like, whoops. But it's fine, because then you know they're watching your story anyway. So go ahead and add your story. If you have more questions, feel free to unmute yourself or put them in the chat, but we have 5 more minutes for adding to your story.
Hey, Trista, I have a question. I was just thinking, and I know I put this in the chat as to like how you go back through and delete outgoing friend requests.
Yep.
How often do you do that?
I try to do it once a week.
And then
Sometimes I'm better.
you go all the way back to 0?
Mm-hmm.
Or I've heard some people like unfriend and then refriend again right then.
I usually don't.
Okay.
But it's personal. I mean, if there's somebody who I'm like, oh man, I really like, I want you to accept my friend request,
Yeah.
then I will. But if it's just some random, I usually don't. But that's again personal preference. I have this a couple people who like I can tell that's what they're doing, and it annoys the crap out of me when I get their friend request. So it's just, I mean, that's the only reason I say that. But I personally, I don't unless it's somebody that I really, really want on my team.
Right. Okay.
Too.
Hey, Christy, can you hear me?
Yes, Christy.
Okay, thank you, Christy.
No problem, Christy.
I will say, because I go back and re-add people, and that's a surefire way to get blocked from adding friends when you're in that feature on your computer if you do more than 20, speaking from experience.
Okay.
So I will re-add. I go in once a week, usually on a Friday, and delete all my friend requests. And if I re-add people, I don't do more than 20. So FYI.
Yeah.
Thank you, Christy.
And if you have like a ton of pending friend requests, ingoing or outgoing, that can affect your algorithm too. So really kind of keeping that clean, because Facebook knows, like, they want you to be building relationships. That's what this tool is. So they know, like, if you have a ton that aren't getting accepted, you're spamming people and you're just trying to get people to accept your friend request. Or if you have a ton incoming, same kind of thing. So just make sure that you're kind of keeping that cleaned out.
Before the update, it was very easy on the Facebook app. There was like a whole thing. I have not found a better way than logging in through an actual computer and doing it that way. Am I missing something?
It's way easier on a computer. I don't.
Okay. Cool.
Same here, Melanie. I'm going through and doing one by one by one. And it used to be easier. It was like click, 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 click. Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying that if we have a ton of friend requests and like we know we don't want to be friends with that person, we need to just get rid of them?
Just cancel it.
That affects it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I just leave them sitting there. Okay, so I need to clean it up.
Just clean it up.
Not necessarily just the ones where people have asked you, because sometimes I have those too, but it's the ones that you've asked other people.
Is there a specific way to do that? I do mine on a laptop too. But I guess I don't know how to do that.
So if you go to friends, I'll tell you how to do this because I just did it. If you go to your friends on Facebook, this is what mine looks like. I went to friends and it shows like all my friends there. And then if you go to, hold on a second. Of course, my internet's going to go out. By the search bar, if you, hold on a second. If you click on friend requests, do you see that? The first thing that I see is, it says I have 3 friend requests waiting for me, but right under that it says respond to your 3 friend requests. And then right under that it says view sent requests. Do you see that? So if you click on that, then it pops up anybody that you've asked to be your friend and it's sitting in their inbox. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That Trista is saying, or I think Christy said she clears out on Fridays, and Trista said she clears out once a week.
Okay. So once a week.
I'm super behind on.
It doesn't matter like what day. Just pick a day and clean.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter what day.
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't matter.
Just find something that works for your schedule that you can kind of do routinely. And even if it's not once a week, just try to remember like every so often to go in there and clean it.
I feel like I can like every day get rid of some.
Yeah.
You know.
And I try like the outgoing ones. I usually let them sit because sometimes, I mean, you don't know. Some people don't get to them right away. So I try to let them sit for a few days. And then if they don't accept within a week, they're probably not going to. So I just will delete it then. Okay. Let's go to Britt. Let's talk about messaging for host to post, messaging for customers. We're going to spend like 10, 15 minutes here.
Okay, so quick question to you, Trista. Where do you want me putting these messages? Do you
So
want me
put
them
it in the chat here, but then let's also put it in the post on Overcomers so that
I
everybody.
have a silly question. What's the easiest way to put it in this chat without typing? I know that's a super blonde
You
question.
have it saved in your notes.
Yes, but I'm on my computer. So do I log in to
Can-
Zoom from
well,
my
is it-
phone?
I text it. Can you text yourself to your computer?
How
Yeah.
do you do that?
So like literally on your phone, text your actual number. Do you have an Apple computer?
Yep.
So type your phone number in like you're going to text yourself.
Okay.
It'll bling on your phone and it'll bling on your computer.
Are you on the same iCloud account on both?
We'll try it. We'll see what happens.
It's how I posted the one. Because that's how I have to do it.
See, guys, you don't have to know what you're doing to be able to figure this out. We'll see what happens. If not, I'll put it in the chat.
Cell phone charger.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get talking anyways because it came through by my phone, but it's not coming through here.
Send it to yourself on Messenger.
Okay, I'll try that. Okay, so let me explain. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about how you can do host a post and signing customers, no matter whether you're brand new, no matter whether you're doing the Amazon gift card that we're doing, which is for $500 if you've chipped in for that, or if you have not chipped in, I'm going to give you the messages for all of those. Okay, so let me just read you kind of what the first one's going to be like. This is for someone that is absolutely brand new or has not messaged what we like to call our chicken noodle soup list. What is the chicken noodle soup? That is, if you were to get sick and you needed someone to bring you something, who are the people you go to? Is that parents? Is that close friends? Is that siblings? Is that whoever that is? This is who you're going to send this message to. It says, hey, so-and-so. Okay, so you may have seen my post about taking on a new adventure. I'm truly excited for so many reasons, continuing my health journey and adding an extra income to our family. My first goal is to set up a couple people on a 90-day challenge, and I was wondering if you'd be interested in help me out. We have so much to choose from, and you will get my discount. Thank you so much for your support. I've never really had someone say, no, I don't want to support you. Okay? Yes, there's kind of a play on words there. If you just say, can you help me? They're going to figure out a way to be like, no, not right now. But if you say, thank you so much for your support. Now, obviously, there's going to be some times that people come back and say, money's just tight. Then you can kind of spin it and say, totally understand. Would you be willing to make a post for me? This will still really help me get my business started. There is always, I think sometimes people feel like when they're messaging, when they get the, no, I'm not interested, or sorry, I don't have the money, or yes, I already tried that, it didn't work. Especially being new, you get like deer in headlights. Like, I don't know what to say, so I say nothing. Saying nothing is probably the worst thing that you could do, okay? Because something that we're actually going to be talking about is, we know how this business works. For those of you that are brand new or for those of you who've been in a while, this is exactly how this business works. If you're truly serious about making money, this is going to be you're constantly looking to grow your list. You really shouldn't even care whether they say yes or not. Now, do we care? Yes. That's why the fortune is in the follow-up. But here's the deal. Every time we have an event, every time we have a promotion, oftentimes what a lot of people do is because they're so in and out of this business, like they work it when they feel good, not treating it like an actual job. Well, then when a promotion comes out, everyone gets excited and we go like almost on a messaging spree, or we go on a posting spree, or we go on a story spree, and we're like so excited. Well, the problem is you're going to have some people interested, but they got to hear about it for a little while. It's not like you're going to be like, I don't message anyone and say, hey, do you want to buy from me? And they say, oh my gosh, I was hoping you'd ask. No, that's not how it works. Usually how it works is I send my messages. They say, yes, I've been thinking about it, but I don't have the money. I don't have it, like whatever their reason is. And then I say, that's okay. And I just build that relationship. Then when we go to conference and we go to green carpet, or we have these fun promotions, guess what? I get excited, but I only get excited if I have a list of people to message. Hey, I know that you originally a couple months ago said you've actually thought about doing what I do, but you said like time is just kind of crazy. I just have to tell you that for right now, when you join, you get blah, 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 blah. Does that make sense? So I want to do a mindset shift right now, and I'm going to do a little preaching. We know at the end of January, beginning of February, something bomb is coming. It always does. So I want you to understand that right now, you are planting seeds. If they say yes, that's amazing. Like Cammie says, don't hold them off. If they're ready, get them locked and loaded. But the rest of November, December, and all of January until conference, this is a seed planting time, okay? And would you say that you want someone on your team like me? Would you want a Brittany Landrum on your team? Right? Here's the deal. I would have never reached out to anyone. If Alyssa would not have messaged me, I still would not be doing this business because I didn't want people to know how bad I was suffering. So keep that in mind when you're like, oh, I just don't want to annoy someone. So I'm going to figure out how to get these messages. Do you think it'll work if I send it to one of you guys? Because it's not going through.
Yeah, just send it to me and I'll put it in the chat.
Okay. So I'm going to send these messages. This first one is the one you're going to send if you are brand new. But let's say you're not brand new. And let's say you're just going to be honest with yourself and be like, oh, I've actually not gone through my warm market. Your warm market is just the people that you know. Just know you can turn these words around a little bit. You don't have to say, I'm sure you saw my brand new post, or you may have seen my brand new post. Be honest and say, hey, I'm sure you may have been noticing my post for the last couple of months. And I just wanted to reach out and say, is there anything that I could help you with and start you on a 90-day challenge? I'm going for a fun promotion for my family, and your support would mean the world. You can still use this message, whether you're brand new or not, but it's definitely for someone that's brand new. Now, the next message that I'm going to give you an example for is if you are doing, raise your hand if I can see you, if any of you that are doing the Amazon gift card, or you're doing your own post-to-post giveaway. Okay, I know some of you are doing your own too. Sometimes people are like, okay, so I got my people that want to host a post for me, but now I don't know what to say. And so you say nothing. Okay, well, that's not good either. So this next one sounds something like this. Okay, girl, first of all, thank you for commenting on my blah, blah, blah giveaway post. I love doing this. It's super easy to confirm your entry. All you have to do is make a post for me on your social media. I will send you what to say, and all you have to do is copy and paste. And then for me, I say in capital, don't tag me, because I actually like not to be tagged. I get better in interaction, but you're going to have to find what works best for you. Don't tag me, but let me know once it's done, and that's when I will add your name to our giveaway list. I'll send you what to post soon. Okay, I'm going to send this one to Trista as well. Now here's a little bit, how many of you, for those of you that I can see, how many of you do host a post, but you will admit that they're a little overwhelming? When you do get in the groove, when all of a sudden you're like, okay, great, now I have 20 comments, but now I got to send the 20 people messages, but now I got 4 that have made the post, I got 4 that have just responded back, and then you're like all scatterbrained. What I have found best is you're going to have to find a system for you. The system for me, the reason why my last sentence says, I'll send you the post soon, because what I try to do is I try to make my post about the giveaway. I give it, honestly, usually about 10 hours to get some comments going. Then the next time that I sit down to do some powerful work, I get this message sent out to all those people. And then I give it about 4, 5, 6 hours, maybe longer. And then by then I have quite a few responses, and then I can go to what I call like phase 2. And then I can send all the ones that replied the next message. Then when they start, does that make sense? And then the next post is, okay, here's the post you're going to do. And then granted, when they make the post, their times are different. But that's why no matter where I'm at, if I'm home, if I'm out and about, it sounds super silly, but I keep a very thin, small notebook with me. And the second that I get a message back saying, okay, it's all done, I write their name down because that's how I remember how to actually put their name in for the drawing. So you're going to have to find a system that works for you. So you basically stagger the host-to-post responses. Yes. And the reason that I do that is because, okay, and I know I have to like wrap it up, but, and then I'll give you the last message too. The last message is going to be for someone that's not brand new, that is not part of the Amazon gift card, but that still wants to do host to post. And I'm not going to explain it. We're just going to put the message in there. Okay. What was I going to say? I don't know. So let me just go ahead and send this to Trista. And then maybe while I'm thinking, I'll think of what I was going to say.
Can I just add real quick, all this stuff that we're talking about, including the loyal customer thing, just do it. Just do it. We're putting so many messages out there and you're like, what sounds like me? What doesn't sound like me? Whatever. That's important. But if all of that is blocking you from doing it, stop thinking about it, copy, paste it, and send it, and stop thinking about it because it doesn't work if you don't do it.
I think so many people, and this is why I think I'm going to actually you guys are going to laugh at me. I think I'm going to start doing like intervention Zooms where if you feel like you have whatever that's holding you back, get on a Zoom with me and I will unmute you one at a time and like talk you through this because I can't get over how many people, and I don't mean this to be rude, how many people don't have all the potential to be successful from the outside in. Like they don't have this, because everyone says like, oh, well, when I get a better home, I'll be successful. Or, oh, when I have better lighting, I'll be successful. Or, oh, when I look better, I'll be successful. Everyone tells you, like you're telling yourself a bunch of crap, okay? I can't tell you how many people I look that are successful. And I'm like, you know what's funny? They don't have all that glitz and glam. They don't have the perfect life because no one does. But guess what they do? They just do the things. And then all of a sudden, they're topping rollers. All of a sudden, they're winning a spot on cruises. Now it's a Margaritaville trip. They're winning a spot in VIP. Not winning, they're earning. They're earning because they're doing the things. So I think that's like the most thing I could tell you right now is stop overthinking it. We would not do training after training after training. The moral of the story is we don't get paid just to get on these Zooms with you. We get paid to tell you what works and hope that you actually go do it, right? So we would not be telling you things just that sound good. Is there anything else that, Trista, you feel like I need to cover based on host to post?
No, I mean, I think we could go on and on and on. If you guys have specific questions, pop them in the chat, unmute yourself, ask them. But I think like that's the gist of it. And you just have to do it. It's one of those things where it works if you do it. Period. Like it works. So, okay, Melanie, let's come to you, do messaging, and then we're going to go to Christy Reedy and kind of pull all of this together on how you're going to keep track of all these people and you're going to be following up and you're going to blow your business up come the beginning of the year because you are going to be planting so many seeds right now. So, Melanie, take it off.
Okay, I put all of my messages and it's a lot. So do yourself a favor because of the messages Brittany's putting in there. I spent my afternoon gathering up lots of different DT potential messages. I gathered up my favorites, ones that I use, ones that I've been saving. And then I also added in there because then what happens? You send out DT messages and people are like, what do you do? And then my team inevitably is always like, I don't know. What do I say when they ask what I do? Like I put those follow-up responses when someone says, well, how do you even make money? I put those responses in there and multiple ones of those. And then I added follow-up because follow-up is like the easiest there is and it is the most crucial, but you need something to go with. So do yourself a favor and copy all that stuff and stick it in one note on your phone so that it's there to copy paste when you need to and when somebody asks you. But I wanted you guys to have something to go off of for now. So I picked the top 3 and then I added the 5 questions to ask if they don't respond and then a follow-up that I use personally on the very bottom. Follow-ups, we're not going to spend too much time on right now, but they are crucial. They are everything. And when I put somebody on my follow-up list, maybe I should do it sooner. I don't know. But if I put everyone on my follow-up list by the first time I reach out to them, it would be a gazillion names long. So I normally wait until they respond back to me. For better or worse, that's what I do personally. You decide what your follow-up should be, and my hope for you is that your list of names is a gazillion miles long, and then you can worry about weeding out people after that, okay? So, but your follow-up, no one signs the first time. No one responds. No one comes back on that first message and says they're going to sign, especially not a distributor. So that is why the follow-up is such a big deal. It is way more likely that people ignore you, and that's why it's 5 questions for you to send out to someone on a follow-up. Okay, so if you are, and Bridget brings up a really good point. She said that she always feels like she drops the ball when she gets a response. No, you don't. We always worry that we're mucking it up somehow, or that we're going to, and that freezes us into action or into inaction. And so you don't send anything, or you don't know what to say. Reach out to your diamond and above upline. They will help. I'm regularly walking through conversations through screenshots for me to close it for them and teach them how to do it. But those responses are in there so that you can kind of adapt that. I also have a video. I put my YouTube video in there. It's like a little 8-minute thing. You can make your own based on that. You can even send mine. Brittany, I think, has one too. She can probably drop it in there. It is designed to be ambiguous in terms of it's not just directed to people that I've been talking to. So anyway, it's just videos are a great way to send your YouTube link or whatever. But please, I did not have that in the first couple years of my business, okay? So don't feel like you need to get some slicko YouTube and you'll watch it and you'll be like, that is anything but slick. But don't feel like you need to have one of those to start sending these messages. So we're going to do this because what stops people, it stops me 3 years later, it stops me, oh my gosh, but I'm gonna look like an idiot and what are they gonna say? Okay, it doesn't matter. So copy one of these right now. I want you to find a way. I haven't done it on Zoom on my phone yet on copying from the chat. Get one of these messages copied right now because we're going to go start pasting it and putting it into, and I want you to send 5 distributor messages before my time is up. And I think Trista gave me 10 minutes or so. So copy it now. And then I want to go, it's on, Tracy, it's on Overcomers. And Trista made a post tonight where everything, like our scripts and things, are in the comments of that. So look for Overcomers and look for that Zoom Monday night ID thing graphic. And then it's in there. Okay, so I don't care who you pick. Don't get choosy. This used to be the worst part for me, was choosing my 10 people, knowing I had to send 10 messages, and I would literally be on number 7 and be like, oh my gosh, I don't have another one in me. Like I didn't know who I was gonna pick. Stop overthinking it. Everybody needs this. Literally everyone in the entire world needs an extra $200 a month. And by you deciding that you're not going to send them that message because they probably don't need it or they don't look the right way or you're not really sure or they might make fun of you, you are depriving them of that opportunity to say no. Probably they're going to ignore you anyway, okay? So we don't even care. Choose somebody right now. In the next 2 minutes, you're going to send that message to somebody. So get busy picking someone. And if you have questions, feel free to unmute yourself as we're doing this. And if you guys want a solid confession from me, I say that I message all the time for DTs on Instagram, and I do. I exclusively, confession time, message on Instagram because it is colder and more like fly by night, like whatever, and I get all in my feels about Facebook. So if you're feeling like that, it's cool, man. Everyone's got their thing, and that is why I developed my Instagram, because I felt better about that. I haven't messaged for a DT on Facebook in a year and a half, but I was still top enroller last year. It doesn't matter. Find your jam. It does not matter what you choose to do. It will work. You just have to do it every day.
Okay, I have a question. How many times would you say that you message someone without getting a response? Because I've messaged for like business and products and the person hasn't responded. So at that point, would you just remove them?
No. Okay. That's an excellent question, because like, what do you get to? Like, there's some top leader, I don't even know what her name is, but she was like, it took her 18 times. 18 unread messages. She didn't even respond 18 times. And it was that 18th time that she was finally like, holy Lord, like fine, I will answer you back kind of thing. And that is not uncommon. So truthfully, does anyone on my page ever make it to 18 times? I've never made it that long. So how you're feeling about it is pretty typical. When do you give up on someone? Well, it depends. How much are they clicking my radar? Like I have girls that have not answered that I've been following for like 2.5 years, and they still have not even responded or they've said no. But I still really think they do it really well, and I still really like following them, and their page is still amazing, and they're not doing anything else yet. So I'm still going to keep messaging them. And those messages aren't always, 1 through 18. It's not always, hey, do this business with me. Do this business. No, it's like, oh my gosh, your shirt's so cute. Tell me where you got your lashes done. Blah, 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 whatever. Like there's other stuff that builds that relationship in between. But I don't remove someone if I really want them.
And my favorite thing now to do is interact on their story because it automatically goes in their messages. So I like, if there's somebody who I'm like, oh, she would kill it. I love her. Like, she's going to be my bestie one day when she joins. Like I have 2 of those. Like they're going to be my best friends when they join. So I'm all the time just like in their story, interacting with them, talking about how cute their kids are. Their kids are the same age as my kids. So I talk a lot about their kids. Because I know when they see that, they're also seeing the message above that they're not responding to that one, but they will respond about their kids. So I'm always interacting on their story.
I also have a question. When is the right time to remove somebody? Like, when do you get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm going to delete this person on my Facebook? Because I had gotten to 5,000 friends before, and I needed to, add new people. So I started removing a lot. Now I'm back down to 3,000, building it back up again. So like, when do you start deleting people?
So that is kudos to you. I have yet to max out my 5,000 friends in, over 3 years. Also, I would get on Instagram like SAP, because you're obviously amazing at adding people and getting people responding back to you, and there are no limits on Instagram. So that would be a really great place for you to start exploring if you're not already. And if you are already on Instagram, start building that big. But I've heard many top leaders talk about it. You max out to 5,000, you got to get rid of people. You go back, they get back to 5,000, they got to start raking people back out. Exactly what you did is exactly what we do. And I guess it's that process, right? On Facebook, you have to be more choosy about it. So, like the men creepers would be the first, whatever would be the first ones to go. And then, you're going to have to, pick and choose about whether or not you think that girl's going to, you never know, right? It's hard. That's a hard one to answer. And that's something that I dislike about Facebook. But again, get yourself on Instagram, because you're obviously killing it getting people on your page. So.
Yeah.
This may sound really stupid, but should we only send these messages to people that we don't really know that well? Because I feel like it kind of would be awkward sending it to a friend.
So
I love that question. I love it. Love it.
So, and we probably have really different opinions, because I built in the beginning completely warm market where she built cold market. So it's like, you kind of have to just see what works for you. Me personally, I messaged my friends, but I sent very personal, like, I think you would be great at this because, or I would love to do this because we're best friends. Why the heck not have some fun together? Like, so the message that I would send to a friend is very different than somebody that I would just send to on Instagram that I don't know. I personally, I loved reaching out and I loved building with my friends. So it was, and not all of them said yes, right away, but I at least planted the seed. Is Conklin on here? She's actually one who her best friend joined, didn't message her, and she's just like, why the heck didn't she message me? Like, she waited around, expecting a message, never got it. She's like, why is she not messaging? Does she not think I would be good at this? So sometimes they just want to be asked. So it's all I personally recommend reaching out to those few friends and family that you have that you're like, one, they need this, who doesn't? 2, if you just think you would have fun with them, you think that they would be great at it, they have a great social media, whatever the case may be, but I would send a very different message to
and that's what I've done at first, but my messages look totally different than the ones that Melanie posted. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and these messages are more like cold message, people you don't really know, just to start planting the seed in your cold market.
Got it.
And in the Overcomers chat, there is one in there that says, it has a line, and then you insert why you want to, like them, or why you think they'd be good at it. It gets it more personal. I had no friends starting this. I had no one. I have only built cold market. And in fact, up until Double Diamond, maybe even after that, I've only had one distributor and a team of 1,000 that I've known outside of Facebook. So yeah, again, Like it blows my mind with Trista and Jess. Like they like work together and she said yes. And I'm like, you knew somebody? So yeah, you definitely want to customize it. You're right. Cause like, I don't even know who I don't even like literally even right now, this long, I don't know who I would send a message to that I would already know outside of Facebook or Instagram. So
Okay.
yeah, it's whatever your market is.
I also have a question. Can y'all hear me? Am I doing this
Yep.
right? Oh,
Yep.
okay, cool. So Ashley actually got me on this, and I'm just now starting to do it all. And so it's definitely a little confusing, but if you send like the messages to people you don't know and then the people you do know and say they are not interested, how long do you wait until you say, okay, well, hey, just wanted to know if you could share some stuff on your page, stuff like that, like go back. I know you said something about following up, but like how long do you wait?
I mean, if they tell me like, no, it's not my thing, I'd ask right away. Just be like, hey, that's great. No pressure at all. I completely understand. Would you just be because somebody that they know could be interested. So I would just say like, hey, would you be willing to do me a favor and just throw a post up on your Facebook page for me? Like I would totally ask them right away.
And I do the same thing for distributors. If I message for a distributor and they're like, no, but you know, whatever kind of thing, I automatically ask them to host a post on their story, throw something up on their story, or host a post on their page for customers, or I guess, I mean, distributor too, but yeah, right away. If you're asking about follow-up, like maybe they don't respond back and you're like, when should I send a message to them on following up? Maybe like, I used to have a rule. It was 2 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, and once a month. I'm not that rigid anymore because I honestly don't keep track that well anymore. Kristen Reed is going to help us on and connect with that. But I would definitely send like, hey, I hope I didn't offend you, or like, hey, give me on a scale of 1 to 10, or what, something like that after like a couple days. And then if it's a customer, that kind of thing, and they are kind of interested, those people are going to stay on my radar at least once a week for a while because they were interested once, they're going to be again.
So like also like, are you guys against if like, I'm like, hey, if you share my stuff, I'll share some of y'all's stuff just so like we're building everybody? Like, is that a thing? No?
And I'll answer, and then if one of you guys has a different, I don't. I stay totally away from that. This is not a tit for tat kind of thing for me. I'm running a business and a storefront, and think of it like a brick and mortar business. I'm not Best Buy offering to have Walmart come in and sell their stuff in here. So that, you know, that may not be the best analogy that I was talking, but no, I absolutely do not. And I'm just going to say it, but you guys can hate on me. You'll start seeing Christmas things and like support our friends and comment here with the name of your business, but make sure you share it on your page or whatever. Like, I don't do any part of that. So
my personal kind of take on that is my audience only has so much disposable income usually. And so if I'm posting about toothpaste or something, they may get that instead of what I'm offering. So it's totally up to you. There are a million different ways to do it. And sometimes if it's something completely different, like jewelry or something, I would maybe consider it. I just don't, because people only have so much disposable income usually.
Well, the only reason, like, I definitely agree with that. The only reason why I asked is because, like, I know people who does lashes, or they do makeup, or they do photography and stuff like that. So it's like, I've mentioned stuff already on my story before. So it's like one of those, like, hey, you have a lot of followers, I have a lot of followers. If you can talk about the product that I'm trying to sell, I can try to boost up, like, if somebody wants their photos done.
So the thing that I would do is like follow for follow. So, or maybe like, I know a lot of like Instagram people will come together and do like a big giveaway together, but that's more for just like gaining followers rather than actually sharing a product or something. But it is a good way to build your network. Like, follow all 4 of us and you're going to get into a drawing for whatever the giveaway is. But that's more for followers rather than actual like product.
I also think like lashes in these products, I think everyone's going to have a different take on it, but I think like lashes in these products are 2 totally different categories. So I think if you're like, hey, I got my lashes done, she did a great job, you should go see her. I think that's like, you're going to get people want their lashes and their products. I don't know. I think that you could do that. And like Christy Smith, I think you were like, you went to something and you were showing the different things you got, like your necklace and your shirt and stuff like that. And I thought that was okay because you're just showing your day-to-day life and like boosting others. And then I think that gives those other people the potential to come and boost up your products too.
I will say, like, I'm much more apt to do like a small business, like boutique, or somebody who does lashes, or an esthetician or something like that. Like, I'm much more apt to share that, or like, oh my gosh, I got this shirt from the cutest boutique or whatever, rather than another MLM company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. That's 100% what I do. I don't promote other MLMs. How I support them is I purchase from them.
Yeah.
I 100% purchase from other MLMs. But I promote, like when I go get my lashes done, I always put her in the story, whatever. I just don't promote other MLMs.
Yeah. What do you do when friends tell you not to friend their friends? Stop friending their friends. And that's, again, it comes back to, like, if you only have one mutual friend, then they can track it back and they know, like, whose friends you were going through. That's why we usually say, like, try to stick to like 4 or 5 plus mutual friends, because then they don't know whose friends you are going to. Okay, Christy, let's come to you because we are after 10 o'clock. So let's bring it on home, sister. Now we can
Okay, not gonna go into huge details because Amanda Huffman did an amazing training on Connect in Overcomers, and so you can search by Connect training and find it in there. But I will tell you a couple of things that you want to be doing between now and conference, because like Trista said, we're doing a massive planting of seeds. You also want to, it's especially for people that are just starting, you guys have a leg up on it because you didn't really have your systems in place on pencil, paper, or whatever you were doing before, like those of us that have been in the business a little bit longer. So you need to learn Connect. We all need to learn Connect, but it'll be easier for those of you coming in because this will be your only system. But everyone should definitely be using Connect. It's going to save you so much time. For me, when I first started using it, I wasn't utilizing it to its fullest potential as an organization tool. I was just using it for the people that automatically got loaded in there, which is the people that you sign on as loyal customers and the people that you sign on as distributors. So what I'm going to do is show you my Connect app and give you a couple of tips for how to stay organized. This will be interesting. I've never done it like this. Okay, so if you haven't gotten into your Connect app, down at the bottom there, you see all the little people. I'm going to try to look in both. And this is your groups. Like if you are just getting into Connect, you probably only have like loyal customers and distributors. But what I want to encourage you to start doing is creating groups. I'm going to flip it back on my face for a minute because it's much better to look at this than it is to look at my computer. Just kidding. So what I want to encourage you to do, anytime you do a product post or a business post and someone comments on it and you message them, you need to add them to your Connect immediately. And what I would encourage you to do is to create a group, and I'll show you how to do that. So for instance, if I'm posting about carb control and someone comments on it and says, I'm interested, I'm going to have a group that is Carb Control PLCs, which is potential loyal customers, and I'm going to add that person into there, whether I only have them on Facebook or maybe like at a vendor event, I talked to someone and I added their information. All I have is their cell phone number, but they are also going into that PLC for Carb Control group. If I do an opportunity post and someone says, makes a comment or something on my post and I message them, they're going to go into a group that I create that is potential distributors, PDTs for November. So let me switch it around town here. For those of you that watch SpongeBob, 50 hours a week like I used to have to do. So let's look at October PDT. So these were the potential distributors that I had, and these were my, those were like actual potential distributors that I had several conversations with. So they're all in here. Watch the beauty of what can happen when I go to send a message. If you can't see what I'm doing, let me know. There's a little, at the bottom of the screen, there is a little pencil there. I can send it to an entire group. Like up at the top, it says contacts or groups. So I can check in with those October PDTs. I can add them, and I already have scripts available. So I could send any of these scripts in here, or I could create a new one. The amazing thing is it's going to be so quick if I've got those groups already set up. Okay. Does that make sense? I'm kind of rushing through because I know it's after 10 o'clock. So again, what I will tell you is it's going to be really important as you start getting potential customers to create groups. Oh, let's talk about that. Okay. So how do I create a group? If you scroll up to the top, can you guys see my screen? Trista, can you see it okay when you look? If my finger's not blocking, you just click create a new group and you just name it. So whatever I want to name it, because I can't type with one finger like that. And I click save. Then after you have a group like Keto Coffee PLCs, anytime you want to add someone, you can add a new contact. And there you go. You can even add existing customers into groups, because I've got people that maybe signed on as customers, you know, when I first joined the business almost 3 years ago, and maybe they don't have an auto shipment on, but now they're interested in ordering Just Celery because it's a newer product that came out. So I'm going to put them in that Just Celery group. So as I message and follow up with people, they're in there as well. I saw a chat come in. Let me check the question. Yeah, you can add them. They don't have to be like an existing customer, or they don't have to be an existing distributor. It's so incredibly helpful. The other thing that I will tell you to do is I started looking through my existing customers and creating groups of existing customer based on product. And so you can just scroll through the loyal customers that you've got, and then I search their name. I lost my Wi-Fi on my computer, or I was going to show you, but you can look in eSuite and just type in their name and look at some of the products that they have ordered. I made a group that's weight loss. So anyone that had any kind of weight loss products, whether it was Thermophyte, Thermophyte X, Fat Fighters, Cleanse, any of the weight loss products, I've got them in a group. I'm creating that group as we speak of existing customers. Anyone that had any kind of products in our beauty line, whether it was hair, skin, and nails, whether it was collagen, any of our skincare products, I have put them in a group of existing customers. Anyone that was interested in any of our keto products like Keto Coffee, they're in a group together. Because I want to be able, if something comes out for Black Friday, or if something comes out at conference, or just, you know, on a Sunday night call, I want to be able to quickly message that whole group. You guys, if you look in the scripts and connect, there are some amazing scripts, especially as new products come out, especially as BOGOs, or I'm sure they'll have stuff for flash sales and Black Friday sales and things like that. Use those because they're really, really good. The other thing that I will tell you that has made my life a lot easier, I am creating, as I sign on new distributors, I'm creating newbie groups by month for my new distributors that I've signed. There are some great day-by-day scripts in there that you can send people, because I think that duplication piece is so intimidating for people. And so if you use the scripts provided, and you may not need to use all of them, but they at least give you a good guideline of what you need to be doing to help get your new people started. So utilize those. Also, you know, as you start really building a team, you can create groups by your ruby legs, by your diamond legs. So don't be afraid to use Connect, because it's going to help you in the long run. And it has been major time saving. So again, I will just say, go into Overcomers and check for Amanda Huffman's video. It is really, really good. She did a top-notch job of teaching it, and it completely changed how I'm using Connect. So just to recap, try to organize as you have potential customers, potential distributors. I like to do it by month for distributors. I like to do it by product for potential customers, and then start going through and organizing in groups your existing loyal customers by product groups. And it will save you for when things come out. All of that pre-work and organization has been done for you. All right.
I love of that, so much of what we're doing right now sets us up for the next kind of 6 months in this business, because that's really when boom time happens. We still have new products coming out this year. We know that. We're going to have Black Friday sales, Cyber Monday sales. Lord only knows what they're going to come out with at conference. So you really want to have this system in place already, so that way when things are announced, you can quickly just shoot out the messages and you're not spending a bunch of time trying to figure out who you should be contacting. So
can I just add something really quickly? Because I saw a couple questions in the chat.
Yep.
You can add any or all of their contact information in Connect. I have people that I added in from a vendor event, and all I have is their email address. They're in a group. I have people that I only have their cell phone number. I have people that I have all of their information, even like their smoke signal number. You know what I mean? So anything that you've got, because when you go to send a message, it will give you options for how you message them. And so whatever information you've got, you can still enter them into Connect.
Yes. Okay, perfect. Does anybody else have, I know we're like rolling into an hour and a half here, so I'm going to like let everybody go, but does anybody have any last minute questions that they are still unsure of or they want to ask before we hop off?
I had a question about putting contacts into the Connect app. So I have mine set up to where it just like automatically synced all of my original contacts. Would you suggest having it that way, like permanently, or could I just input the contacts that I want in the Connect app? Because I'm finding it's kind of like making it a little cluttered, because there's certain people that I'm not necessarily like I've already reached out to and they just don't want to, or just contacts.
I would suggest manually. For me, I would suggest manually putting in your people, because then they have a category. If it's just someone from your contact list that you went to middle school with, but they don't have a place in there yet because they're not necessarily a potential customer or a potential distributor, I think you're right. It's going to be a little cluttered, because I know what you mean, because I did that at first too, accidentally, and then I went through and took people out. Eventually, you hope that everybody in the world that you know is in there somehow.
Yeah.
But I would be really intentional about who you put in there, so you know exactly what you're working with and you don't have a lot of extra clutter.
Okay. Is there a way that I could go through and just wipe all of those out at once, or do I need to like manually take all of them out one at a time?
I believe you have to manually take them out one at a time.
Okay. All right.
That's only because that's how I did it. There may be another way to do it, but I don't know of a way. Unless there's like an edit button, and then you know how it creates like a little circle next to each name, and maybe you can click them and delete. It's been a while since I've done it. That may be an option. You might just have to play around a little bit.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? Any last minute questions? Nope. Okay, friends. We will see you Wednesday, opportunity event. It's going to be a good one, so get your potentials on. And then, if you need anything in the meantime, holla. We'll see you guys later. Good night.